It's no secret that I love a stylish video game. I mean, who doesn't love to get lost in a game that pushes the boundaries of conventional gameplay, whether it be from mechanics, the world building, or the interfaces? Style is a surefire way to get people talking about your game. Enter No Straight Roads.
Great! You owe me a TV, Tatiana.
This game had originally flown under my radar, but it wasn't until Nintendo announced they were bringing it to the Switch that I first heard about it. The trailer immediately piqued my curiosity. A rhythm action game? Now that's genre fusion. But it was when the trailer mentioned parallels to Psychonauts and Jet Set Radio that I was sold. Two of my favorite games growing up. In any case, I picked up the game and jumped right into this short but sweet game that is genuinely at its core a fun and unforgettable experience. If you've played through No Straight Roads, you'll know that it wasn't long before I reached the Sayu fight, being that it's the second official boss of the game. And if you haven't gotten to this point, I strongly urge you to play through this fight before watching, as it is best experienced going in blind. For me, this is by far my favorite boss fight in the game. I feel like it was executed swimmingly, and after beating it the first time, I waited a week before I went back to re-experience this fight. From the get-go, the World Hub is visually eye-catching and just a spectacle to look at. But this is just the precursor for the fight to come. We open to an underwater landscape that is almost washed over with glowing highlights and creamy colorscapes. A light, airy version of Sayu's song, better known as Analog Aquatics in the original soundtrack, echoes in the background before we're introduced to Sayu herself. The three have some lighthearted banter that cleverly sort of pokes fun at some of the unaddressed romantic undertones between Mayday and Zook. Quick side note, it's these little quips between Mayday, Zook, and the bosses that make them feel more well-rounded and believable as characters. This also does well to set up Sayu as the cute, friendly, and bubbly pop idol that she portrays. The EDM version of Sayu's song kicks in and we get this gorgeous versus screen that absolutely gets me hyped every time I see it. From the boss to the soundtrack to the obstacles to the visuals, everything about this fight is layers. Remember how I mentioned that before meeting Sayu everything looks so dreamlike? Even that slowly grows in contrast throughout the phases of the fight. Everything is constantly flowing and growing one on top of the other, like a wave building up before it crashes into the shore. It's this constant building drive that kept me eager to keep fighting and progressing. Every adaptation to the enemies, every section kept building me up and giving me this urgency, this momentum to charge forward. Now, let me draw your attention to the people controlling Sayu. The addition of the creative team we meet during the fight is an ingenious way to create reasoning behind the different phases of the fight. They work together in tandem, almost like a cuter, less pointy Megazord. It creates purpose as to why the music is progressing, why the world is changing, and why different attacks are being used against you. For example, the artist adds pink real eels in various pen tip attacks. The mocap actor adds Sayu's trident, and the singer eventually brings in the vocals. From that point, the aim of the game is to bring down the different aspects of her team. As you disable them one by one, Sayu no longer does the attacks provided by the team member. Even the vocals from the song become hollow once you take the singer out. Right before the fourth and final team member, the video editor, is introduced, the music enters this peaceful vaporwave version. Then, as you enter this long path down to the next phase, the music enters this snare transition that starts slow and starts to vamp up before launching you into the next section of the fight. The editor brings down the brightness, which creates for this really gorgeous and vibrant landscape. In her now distorted voice, Sayu calls on all her fans to join her.
I can relate to my feelings with all my fans around the world.
And just as you thought this scene couldn't get any more appealing to the eye, the world lights up in this sea of glow sticks. A stadium chant rings out around you, only to further push this moment to its peak. Everyone is watching as you once again attempt to disable her. It's here where Sayu grows irritable and starts to come at you with absolutely everything she's got, forcing you to run away now. And just when the team is nearly about to give in, they come together in one last desperate attempt to stop you. And after a quick USB gag, they power morph into a monstrous fish. The final phase. Sayu's crushed vocals are filled with anger as you smash, parry, and transmorph to take her down for the last time. I know I keep bringing up the music, but just the way everything comes together at the end makes it feel so climactic and powerful as you go in for the final attack. Mayday and Zook team up for their famous showstopper, channeling the power of rock. The cut-ins, the flair, the build-up, everything about this sequence is so stylish, and I love it every single time. It's the perfect end to this boss battle. All in all, it had been a while since I had a boss fight that I enjoyed as much as I did this one. The approach Metronomic took with this game was an ambitious and a risky one. Rhythm games can sometimes have a niche audience, but with as enjoyable as No Straight Roads is, there is no doubt in my mind that there will be a lot of people who get behind this game, and the team behind it. Because of this, I commend the No Straight Roads team for the obvious amount of care and love they put into this game, and I'm beyond happy I got to experience it. Thank you to everyone who worked on it. Go show the NSR team some support and follow them on social media. The world needs more creative developers like them. This is Richard for Heroes of Fandom, and if you're into variety games, shows, toys, consider subscribing and watching. See you on the next one.